Welcome to Teen Talk,
Welcome to Teen Talk.
presented by Prominent Youth of America.
Welcome back to Teen Talk News. I'm CJ.
I'm Brendan.
And today we're joined by an award-winning film producer who got his start right here in the end of West Louisville, Rodney Cox, a graduate of Iroquois High School and a veteran of the United States Army and Marine Corps and Army Reserves. Rodney brought that same discipline into the film industry, directing and starring in his first feature, Hell Night, Devil's Pass, before creating the internationally recognized web series Calling Tyrone. He is now preparing to release his newest project, The Space, a family affair starring alongside Rodney Cox Jr. and Casey Leggett. Please join us in welcoming a storyteller, a mentor, and a true Louisville filmmaker, Rodney Cox.
Appreciate it. Thank you for the opportunity.
For viewers meeting you for the first time, who is Rodney Cox, and what is it like growing up in West End of Louisville, attending Iroquois High School?
Rodney Cox, just a regular dude from the West End, United States Marine Corps veteran. You did say that.
Yep.
Y'all getting out some good information, man. I appreciate that. Y'all did y'all research, huh?
Yes, sir.
Cool. Just a dad, a father, a husband, animal lover. I got a cane corso that's crazy big. Okay, she's a Chihuahua. She act like a cane corso, but yeah. Other than that, just a regular dude from the West End. Yeah.
You served with the United States Marine Corps and the United States Army Reserves before building a career in film. How did your military background shape your discipline and work ethic as a producer?
It's a good question. The Marine Corps made me get more discipline. I was already in ROTC at Iroquois High School, and it was pretty much like a family tradition. My dad, he was in the Marine Corps. My brother, 20 years in the Marine Corps. My sister, she did 20 years in the Marine Corps.
Dang.
But then I came along, I only did 4 years active duty, and then 6 years with the Army Reserves. And I think that structure being set from my dad, growing up just seeing that, I think it set the tone for pretty much the discipline side of filmmaking and just growing up in general.
Your first feature film, Hell Night, Devil's Pass, was an 80s-style horror comedy you directed and starred in. What did that first feature teach you about the filmmaking process?
Patience. And when you shooting an independent film, you got to rely on a lot of moving parts, and sometimes everybody's not going to show up. So you got to improvise, and y'all know what improvising. Y'all know
Yeah.
how to improvise, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So you got to do whatever you got to work with. You got to work with it and make it happen, regardless of who shows up and who don't show up. So that was real tough shooting that film. The film didn't see the light of day. When I say that, it means nobody really got to see that film. But the hard work that we put into it prepared me to do other films and projects that I worked on along the way.
As an award-winning film producer, what does the behind-the-scenes work of producing actually involve that most people never seen on screen?
A lot of teamwork. You gotta depend on the people that are around you, the people that are in position to see things that you can't see, and you can't get too much into your own head and think that your vision is the only vision. Sometimes a little bitty idea can help tweak your vision to make you see things a little bit differently. So you got to be open and let other ideas help you make the process a little bit smoother. So teamwork is the main thing. And if you don't like working with a team, filmmaking might not be for you.
You've also worked as an instructional assistant with Jefferson County Public Schools, aka JCPS. How has working directly with students shaped the way you think about opportunities for young people in Louisville?
That's a good question. It was a real good challenging time when I was working for JCPS, because I got to work with people that are children that didn't see the things that I saw. So I was able to communicate with them in a way that if I put myself in their position, I was like, okay, I went to school when I was their age as well, but I didn't. And it's a real good question because I'm really trying to backtrack and think about my time at JCPS because I was really able to help shape and mold a lot of young students that were underprivileged, didn't get to see a lot of things that I got to see in the world. Because when I was in the Marine Corps, the short period that time that I went to over 12 different countries at the time. So we were able to go to places and see different ways of life that you would normally not get to see. So I was able to, really, I'm still digging back, thinking about those times because trying to think of an example I can give you. Go ahead, next question. I'm gonna come back. I'm gonna circle back.
The film industry can be difficult to break into, especially outside of major markets like Los Angeles or Atlanta. What advice will you give a teenager in Louisville who wants to become a filmmaker or producer?
Get busy with your ink pen. Everybody got a story to tell. Even the hunter and the lion. I'm gonna tell you about the hunter and the lion. So if the lion had a pen, what story would you think he would tell about the hunter?
About the hunter trying to hunt him, or he's trying to hunt the
About
lion?
the hunter trying to hunt the lion. You get that? So
Yeah.
if the lion had an ink pen and he could tell his own story, he would tell a different story of the hunter trying to hunt him.
Mm-hmm.
So the advice I give to a young guy in the West End, young female in the West End, get busy with your ink pen, tell your story. Everybody has their own perspective to tell a story. And a story can be told in so many different ways. I could tell you a story, give you that story, and tell you to tell the story. You'll tell it in a totally different way. So I can give a story to 10 different directors, and it'll be a totally different story when it comes to the end of the storytelling and who tells the story. A good movie to watch, or any movie that you watch, and you can watch it with no volume, just turn the sound off. One of them is Forrest Gump. You can watch Forrest Gump, turn the volume completely off, and watch that movie and tell what's going on in the story. Because the actors are acting out the story in a way that it's real articulate. You know that Forrest is trying to get Jenny by watching that movie, by watching that story. I don't know if y'all even know Forrest Gump. Y'all know Forrest Gump?
No.
Watch it with the volume off, and you can watch that movie without any words and know what's going on in that movie. So the advice I give is get busy with your ink pen, tell your story. That's what I told my son. The movie The Space, I told my son before he even wrote that to get busy with your ink pen. So that story is a story of his perspective growing up. We didn't have the best relationship, but over time, the more we talked, the more I told him to write, our relationship got better. So he was able to articulate his story of, I can't get too much deep into the story that the movie that's coming out called The Space, because it's right now, it's in a bunch of film festival runs, the Sundance, to name a few, and yeah.
You have a new film called The Space coming soon, starring alongside Rodney Cox Jr. and Casey Leggett, with the tagline, He came for answers, not forgiveness. What can you tell us about the story, and what is it like working on a project that keeps it in the family?
I kind of almost answered that just a little bit. So it's a story that my son wrote, and it's basically about coming back for answers that he felt were unanswered growing up. And the thing about being a parent is you don't know what your parents saw growing up unless you ask those questions. My dad, he was around in my life, but he was busy working a lot of times, so I didn't really get to have the greatest relationship with my dad growing up. And some of us, we don't get those opportunities to have good relationships with our parents, our mothers or our fathers. So it's just a conversation that needs to be had, and I think his story will open up that door to other people to have those talks and relationships with their dads or their mothers, because sometimes we hold on to past regrets of opportunities that we could have talked to our mom or dad, but we didn't take those opportunities. And sometimes we wait till it's too late. And if you wait till it's too late, then they pass on, and those conversations never get had. So that's what the movie is pretty much about. My son coming back to have a talk that could have been had when we were younger. So that's why mental health is so important. If you don't take care of your mental health, it's you're doing yourself a disservice. And even my son, I had him in counseling when he was 14, 15. So I think that even helped him tell that story.
What has been the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your career, and what kept you pushing forward?
That's a good question. Say that question one more time, please.
What has been the biggest challenge you had to overcome in your career, and what kept you pushing forward?
Probably graduating Marine Corps boot camp. That was probably the biggest challenge, because even though I was in ROTC, it was Navy ROTC. So when I went in the Marines, it was a whole different animal. Constant screaming in my face, get up at 5:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. I wasn't used to that. I wasn't ready for that, because I was pretty much on automatic pilot when I was raised. So my parents pretty much let me do whatever I wanted to do. So when I went to the Marine Corps, it was just a culture shock. So getting through 13 weeks of Marine Corps training was probably the biggest challenge, and I think it set the stage to help me shape the rest of my future.
Teen Talk News is all about empowering young voices. What message would you like to leave with every teenager watching this interview to remember about turning a creative passion into a real career?
I would like to leave with you guys the 1% method, and I apply that to myself right now today. Are you familiar with it?
I've never heard of it. But.
So what you want to do is try to make yourself 1% better than you were yesterday. So by the time next year comes around, you'll be 365% better than you were last year. So if you try to improve yourself by 1% every single day, then next year, 365%, you won't even recognize the person you were last year. So that's what I would like to leave with you guys.
Thank you for that. Thank you. That actually is a good idea. I've actually been like trying to get like out of some of my old habits recently, like such as getting up earlier, going outside, take a breather. I've also been going to walks with my brother and stuff. We did have bikes, but someone took them. Yeah. So it's also one kind of opportunity taken away from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also been like starting to go outside more, exercising, hooping, and it started like I'm feeling like much better, much stronger, or starting. Not right now, but I just know if I continue pushing myself forward, I think I'll be able to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like that. I like that
too. That's good.
Thank you.
Start young, and then when you get older, you just be like Hulk. That's a little bit just weaker, but like Hulk.
Yeah. Get that sun, man. Get some of that
Vitamin
D in early.
Jinx.
Yeah. That's
all right.
awesome.
Thank you, everyone. That's all for today. Don't forget, tune in next time, and we'll see you again.
Peace.
Peace.
Appreciate the opportunity.
Special thanks to our guests for stopping by today. And thank you all so much for watching.